And let's get Kick and the app. The app and Kick. Alright.
Kick on too?
It's gonna load. Yeah, it's gonna load. Let me cut this off. Let me cut this off.
Oh yeah, it's on.
There we go right there. Yo, salute, Renegade Revolver. Salute. Yeah, I feel good. I'm back. You see, I'm hyped.
You sound good, yo.
I sound good, right? I was sounding crazy a week ago.
Not gonna lie, I'm kind of down tonight, y'all. What's up, man?
Yo, my brother, what's going on, man? If you wanna share that, man?
Yeah, you can talk about it, man.
You wanna share that, man? Like, what's going on?
Yo, I meant to ask you too. Your man, that's your man that's spitting, right? On your joint, KO.
Yeah.
That son that was here, right?
Yeah, my cousin.
That's your cousin?
My cousin.
Oh shit,
That's my cousin,
bro.
KO, my cousin. He said the mic sound dope. Salute. Yeah, we back. I was missing the action.
Yo, Ace, man, what up, man?
Yo, Ace! So you ready for the smoke ass? Yeah, we ready. Shout out to everybody that's jumping on. We got TikTok on. We got Instagram on. And we also got Kick. Shout out to everybody on the MG Presents app. But we are back at it. I'm Spud Brooklyn.
I'm Nate.
And this is Dungeon Talk. It's been a few. I was out the whole week. I didn't do no shows last week.
My man was under the weather, man.
I started out. I went to Indie Week.
Yeah.
Shook mad hands. Took the train. I was watching people go crazy on the train. Come off the train. I'm just in mode. And then I had the cough. Started off with a little cough, dry throat, and then the banging headache, bro. And then that's when it was the sneezing was gone. But he said girls be overstepping boundaries and guys gotta pay the price.
What do you mean? What do you mean though?
That's a good question. He said girls sometimes be overstepping boundaries and guys gotta pay the price. There are a lot of equations on that. I will say, to those that are not on Instagram, shout out to Renegade Revolver. He was just sharing like, yo, today I'm kind of in a mood, and we just like, yo, bro, share that. He was like, yo, share that. Yes, shout out to the graduations as well.
Yeah,
shout
man.
out to your young boy, bro. Shout out to your young boy too.
Ace, man.
Shout out to young boy too.
My little man, Lil Nate graduated this week too, man.
Shout out to everybody.
All of them, man. Everybody
graduated.
Spud's daughter too, man.
Yeah, my daughter graduated.
See?
Yeah, everybody. There's a lot of graduations.
Dope, man.
So shout out to everybody who got graduations, young, small, tall, short, whatever it is. Shout out to everybody who graduated. But I was gonna say with Renegade Revolver, he said a comment about, yo, sometimes girls be overstepping boundaries and guys gotta pay the price for it. And yo, when I was up north, I can't tell you the amount of stories I heard of people like holding down like a cousin or a sister. They either had an argument with their man or something, and then they called for the brother or the uncle. He stepped in. It escalated way beyond, and then he's like, and guess what, bro? They getting married.
And that never fails.
And he's sitting up top.
I'll tell you a better one, Spud. My man.
Shout out to Dawn Smith. Sorry, she's like, yo, it's an honor. Great to hear kids getting a diploma. Most definitely.
He not my man, but I know him. Him and his sister and her man was fighting. He jumped in, and son got 10 years for that.
No, for
and
real.
She had a baby by him and everything while he was bumped off.
My man, I ain't gonna say his name, but my man, his sister was getting beat down. He got a call. Yo, go save it. He ran down there to go scrap. He go scrap. He get clapped. 3 times. Pow, pow, pow. Still trying to hold and duff dude out. Dude ran. You know the hood. Nobody said nothing. Dude sat for a little bit. My man heals up. Gets into a little situation where he got to sit up top. and then his sister had a baby with the dude, and they living happily ever after.
That's crazy.
And he like, yo, here it is. I want to come back now.
He said everyone talk about abusive relationship, but they don't think about when a woman is aggressive and not.
Ooh,
Man,
that's a real conversation. Renegade Revolver, he spoke about. You know, everybody does talk about abusive relationships, and what sucks is if you utter the words abusive relationship, automatically it's the man being abusive. Like there's no thought of
for
it,
a woman doing
and vice versa.
But it's crazy to go through that shit, bro. Either man or woman.
Yeah.
You know, if it gotta be with the hands, you know, it's best to walk away. Cause nobody's gonna win. Somebody's going to jail.
Yeah.
And majority of times it be the man. It be the man. So, you know, and a lot of people can walk away. I see a lot of people, like, you know, women especially, they get, I don't know. It's a rough situation. Cause being beat up is like, I don't know. I don't think that's love, getting beat up.
It's not, but I think depending on how you grow and what you decipher, there's a conditioning that gets passed down. And I think some people in those situations define that action kind of like a caring. It gets misplaced. I can't speak for them. I'm only just talking from how I heard people speak about it and things that I saw. But I think, you know, there's a conditioning, and you start to decipher and put false, I don't want to say expectations, but false viewpoints on what it defines.
It's still not a good situation.
Rough when kids are involved.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. When you got kids involved, it's not a good look for you or her. You know, it's a tough situation to go through, bro.
Yeah.
Because now you got to worry about the kids.
Yeah.
And it's hard, bro. It's hard. You know, I you know, when you go through things like that and see things like that in life, it's not a cool situation, man. Especially for the kids, they give them trauma, man. Give them trauma, man.
And you know, I see and I hear a lot that individuals in situations like that, you know, they tend to stay together or tolerate in the essence for the kids, but in reality, like the kids, especially if the kids are seeing this, you could brew up that conditioning for the next generation in that type of, you know, behavior. So it's tough.
It's a
tough.
bad situation, Spud. You know, even if you do love each, like sometimes you gotta just step away, man. You gotta step away, man. If you're not happy and like it's physical. Once it get physical, it goes another level, man. Cause now, you know, women ain't gonna just stand there and let you beat on them. Their family gonna get involved one way or another if they find out, and it's not gonna be a good look, man. You know, and
You know,
the kids make it. The kids is that's the hurtful part, man.
yeah.
Cause they see that, and you know, it's sad to say, like a lot of people think that's cool, man. That's not cool, man. It's not. It's not a good feeling, man.
And you don't want to desensitize the action
At all.
You know what I'm saying? You know, especially kids. You know, especially when they're kids are in the development stage of their mind till they're like 22. Anyway, you know what I'm saying? So, but young, you don't want them to be in that environment, and then they start adopting and adapting to that, where they get desensitized to like, that's nothing. That's how it go. You know what I'm saying? And then you start seeing little traits in them, how they deal with other kids or stuff. But to what Renegade said, you know, when he made a comment about another friend who had a same situation and ended up being stabbed to death by his girlfriend. And if that is even a conversation, even if that's something that's a thought or the possibilities, my brother, like for you and your well-being and your loved ones' well-being, and not just your well-being, your freedom as well.
Mm-hmm.
Evaluate that, man. I know it's easy for everybody, and I'm being very particular on how I relate that because I know it's so easy for everyone to have the answers. That's one thing I'm learning. It's so clear for everyone.
But there's
you need to leave. Or
there's no answers,
you need to.
Bud.
You know
That's
what I'm saying?
what I'm saying.
You know what I'm
see how
saying?
you just said that?
You need no.
It's no answers, but I could just give you advice. I can't give you the answers because
That's
at
right.
the end of the day, it's your decision.
Yeah.
And you know, that's like, you know, not to say it, when somebody passes away, it's never gonna be all right. You know, it's a bad situation. So I could just give you advice. I can't give you anything. And if you choose to stay there, you know what you have on your hands.
Yeah.
You know, and as a man get the bad end of the stick all the time. So you lose your kids, you might get a domestic violence charge, and you might spend your time in jail and you did nothing.
Yeah.
Just to defend yourself.
Defend yourself, yeah.
You know, and it's not a good look, man.
What's going on?
It's not a good look, man.
He said your insights. Nah, most definitely, my dude. Like, I know it's tough. But
Sometimes you gotta just suck. Yo, listen, man. To make you better, try, bro. Just walk away. Listen, do it for your kids, man. Don't let your kids see that, man. And if they young, you listen, man. You put them in a situation that it's not a good look, man. It's not a good look.
Someone, and I'm gonna say it. My cousin went through a situation, you know, with court orders and order protections, and he went through the whole thing, man. And he got to the point where he was like, yo, for the kids, he quoted, I think it was a Schoolboy Q. Was it Schoolboy? He quoted somebody, and he was like, yo, man, sometimes you gotta be a deadbeat so the kids can eat. And I was like, huh? And he was like, nah, because me not being there, everybody was like, oh, you a deadbeat, you do. But he was like, me being there is toxic. I gotta step away, find my ways to make sure the kids are good, but I gotta remove myself from the equation. And the world might look at it like, how you gonna leave your kids? But he was like, yo, and then he repeated it. He was like, yo, sometimes you gotta be a deadbeat so the kids can eat. And you know, not hearing it initially, I was like, what? But hearing his point, you got to remove yourself. You know what I'm saying?
You have to. But because at the end of the day, either you go to jail or she go to jail, or you hurt each other. Now the kids is without parents.
Yeah.
So, listen, if it's hard. It's hard, man. It ain't just a walk in the park, man. And I can't even give you advice on that because, you know, I try not to go through things like that, bro. And I hear people's lives and I'll be like, damn, bro. I watch men in my job cry, bro. Like, literally cry. Because they don't know what to do with themselves anymore.
I've seen it.
They cry. And that's more hurtful because he's a dad, I'm a dad. You know, we have families, bro. And to see a grown man like pour his eyes out and ready to give up on the world.
You know, it reached that brink
when he's crying.
When a man can cry. Not to say we're prideful. We're just built to maintain our emotions differently than women. But when a man could cry in the presence of another man, he's reached the absolute brink of. He needs that release.
Yes.
He needs that release. Shout out to Callie. Romello, I see you. Shout out Callie, sending love. Most love to you.
I just bro, just think real hard, man. Just think real hard, man. You know, I wish you the best, man. Sometimes you know you might have to pull away, man, to make your life better, man, or make the situation better, man.
Yeah.
You know, the kids and whatever they see, it might hurt, man, to walk away, but it might be the best for you or her. Sometimes you gotta just walk away, bro.
Sometimes you gotta walk away.
It ain't worth it, man. It's not worth it, man. And you know, people get hurt at these situations, but sometimes you just gotta walk away, man. That one little reaction could be your last reaction or her last reaction, so.
Yeah.
You gotta think about it, man, and you got kids, man. They first.
Salute to Ren. Let me turn this down. Salute to Renegade, man, for even sharing. Appreciate you for sharing that, my dude. Like, most men wouldn't share that. You know what I'm saying?
And see, that's how you know when somebody at the breaking point.
Yeah.
And
He was open from the gate like, yeah, I'm not doing too good today. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? He didn't even have to say nothing. So salute to you, my dude. Salute to you, man. And I hope some of the chat and everything that we're sharing is something that you could utilize, in your life, man, in your life.
you just gotta understand it's life, man, and it's not peaches and creams all the times, man. But if you could walk away now before it get real crucial and put you in a worse situation, think about it, bro.
Yeah.
Walk away.
Well,
Try, bro.
man,
Try.
Ace, this
Man.
is why I tell youngsters always be very careful who you have
Yeah,
children with.
and that's another thing. People just having babies with just having babies, not knowing that there's a whole responsibility behind the baby. You know, it didn't take one to make them. It took two.
It took two.
So when one do it and they doing it alone, you gonna get the bad end of the stick on that one. So you just gotta be more responsible, man. That's all. And being abusive, they love you in jail. Trust me. They love you.
Yeah, abusive.
They love you.
Anything pertaining like hurting women and kids. I know when I was in prison, I can't speak for it now because everything has changed. Like the system, the street law, everything has took a turn. So I don't know how it is now, but I know we held women and children dear. Like there was no reason you wasn't gonna get punched in your face if you had a charge against a woman and a kid, and it's messed up to say it wasn't even fact checked if you were innocent or not. You had a charge. Your bid was rough.
You know, Spud. I always think I do think about that. Like men who hit the women. You know, it's like maybe from their childhood.
Yeah.
You know, and it just repeats itself. And at the end of the day,
I want to answer that. Go ahead. Answer that.
And at the end of the day, you know, I'm not saying women can't defend themselves, but they can. And I noticed a lot of men who do put their hands on women, they don't do that to men.
Yeah.
They will not do that to a man. You know, and it don't make you no bigger person.
It don't.
It don't make you no bigger person. You know, I see people go through that and I be like, damn, bro, it took y'all that far. You could have just walked away, bro.
Yeah.
Just walk away, man. You gotta walk away, man.
You know, you said something like a lot of people who are abusive, learned it or been through it. And I was having this conversation. I've mentioned this before with like R. Kelly situation, and then I said it again with Puffy situation. But I had posed a question, like how long do we accept the victim until they become a victimized? And what I mean is, you take someone who's been victimized, take abusive. You know, they're in a relationship, they get a beat and they get verbally and then blah 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 for years, and then when they get out of that one and they transition into a new relationship, and then they start to display it, they start to be rough and abusive. There's a point where we forget the victim part is deleted, and now you're a victimizer. And I always pose like, when is that transition mark? When do we say like, yo, this person had an abusive relation and an abusive life, and this is why they do it? At some point, it stops, and then it was like, this person is this person is a monster, this person, you know what I'm saying? And I posed that question in a conversation like, when does the victim cancel out, and now you're just the abuser if you're conditioned or you experience it? You know what I'm saying? It's real tricky.
You know, even when if you did go through that, you can't take what you went through before to the next person's bud. You know, and maybe people don't speak about it, but it's sad that people really have to go through that in life to try to, it's no win at that point. And if you're gonna go to another relationship and bring that into it, it's never gonna work, man.
Yeah.
And people don't even speak about that. They'll just take the anger out on you like you did it.
You did it.
That's not gonna take you nowhere.
Yeah, abusive relations. I mean, they're very clear when you're not in them. I will say that, and I don't want to say like someone in an abusive relationship like they're foolish or why. It's very clear when you're not in it, because you got a clear viewpoint. But when you're in the mix of it, binded by, you're held by failure of self. Some people don't want to let go because they feel like people let go in them, so they tolerate it. Whether they define it as love, where they were abusive, whether they think they can change the person. There's many different outlets. So and I'm just doing a disclaimer. Like, I don't want anyone to feel we have the answers. It's very easy on the outside to be clear-headed in what we wouldn't do. You know what I'm saying? What we wouldn't do compared to it, but it's tough. It's tough.
It's hard, man. It's
Bosco.
Boss, what up, boss? It's a real hard life, man, when you gotta go through stuff like that, man. And for even for men who sit there and like take it, and women who take it, it's like, how much can you take? How much can you take? How much can you tolerate from one person? Just getting beat on and like verbally, whatever, physically, whatever they doing to you. How much can you take? How much can people take?
Yeah.
After a while, like, seeing your other half cry is like...
Seeing the other half should make you...
Yeah.
Should. But
like, you understand?
Yeah, it should.
Like, just to see their face and be like, damn,
Yeah.
I really did that? That's not a way to live, man. That's not a way to live. And your kids hurt the most. Always remember that.
We have Dawn Smith said, not much. I guess in reference to the time, but 4 years was enough. It was probably more than 4 years ago, but they're saying that that was enough. I'm already broken, and if you wanna, please feel free to not say as much as you want or as much as you want. Again, this is Dungeon Talk, where we just have living room conversation. But Dawn Smith said, I'm already broken. And if you want to talk a little bit about that and give a perspective to that statement, like I read that and it stuck out. That was real powerful to say, I'm already broken. I would like your perspective before I give my perspective. I think it's only fair and right before that, because when I see that, I'm already like, there's no way, and I'm already want to be like, but I would love to hear your perspective on that. Most definitely would. You know what I mean? Because I hear people say that, like, I'm broken, and
but broken can be fixed. It can be fixed, and
But what is broken? Like, I want to get
that. That's another thing. What is that?
What is broken?
And if you're broken, you down. You're just down. You don't care. You just think it's over. It's not over.
Yeah,
it's not over.
I think for me, individuals who broken. This is just me, y'all. An individual who's broken, they don't know. They don't know. If you know you're hurt to the point where you define it as I'm broken, you still got that chance. Because it's like a crazy person. Crazy person don't know he crazy. Crazy person don't know he crazy. But if someone says, yo, this shit is driving me crazy, I'm about to lose my mind. You have the insight for the change. You have the insight for the change. It's when you don't know. It's when somebody running around and they be like, yo, bro, you bugging. You don't have no respect for yourself. Like, what are you talking about? That's broken to me. When you don't know. You know what I'm saying?
I think when you just can't take it no more and you just...
Alright, Noli, I'm going to check that.
I just think if you can't take it no more and you just... You get tired, man. You get tired, bro. You just tired. You know, you tired of just going through the same thing that you always been going
That's
through.
what Don just said. When you're tired, you're just broken. You're done.
tired. You just tired. You don't want to tolerate it no more. You know when you're tired, bro.
Yeah.
That's when you know it's time to peel.
When you tired,
You done. You just done. Listen, I can say I can't take it or whatever. When you're tired, you just like you know what?
I'm not letting Don get away with being broken. I'm not letting it happen. I don't think you're broken. You're tired. Yes, you're done. You're fed up. You're over it. All those.
Yeah, you're tired.
Even if you feel a sense of defeat, I've watched the greatest of seek defeats, and I could put it in sports. I've watched MJ lose. I watched Mike Tyson lose. I watched some of the greatest people take a defeat, but that ain't mean they were broke.
No, they took
a defeat. You know what I'm saying? They either got knocked down or they got knocked out or they got put. They got back.
I told you, you're gonna get back up. Listen, you took a loss. You took a bad loss.
And Don said, "I'm not defeated. I still won." And I love that. When I left, I won. Word up. I respect that. I just got a big thing with that word broken. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of times when we at our hardest or when we're super hurt, we use the word broken to define the degree of how much it hurt us. If you're broken, you don't know. You just it will show. It will show. You've seen broken people.
But broken people, they down. They just so down. They just down. They not they self. You're not being yourself if you're broken. You can't be yourself if you're broken. You just in a situation that, you know, I don't like to say this, but you know, God don't put things in front of you that you can't handle, bro.
I
don't want to talk about that. That's why I just said that. You know, I don't think those situations.
I don't know about.
I'm just saying.
You be at the pulpit.
I'm just saying.
Let's start speaking.
I'm just saying, man, and. You know, for renovating Revolver, he said, "Yo, I was tired when I was considering about getting a second apartment, just to go to work. But you know, when you tired, bro, you ready to give up, man.
Yeah, you know,
man. You know how much you could take, man. And you know what? The people that do go through that, you know how much you could tolerate. When you can't tolerate no more, you're tired. You're done. And thank God you just walked away. And it didn't get physical or turned into another way.
Yeah, another way.
You know, you thought about it before you even peeled. For a long time. Before you wanted to leave, you've been thinking about it. You was in a bad situation and...
Now, I got a question. For anybody who wants to answer this, who has been in an abusive relationship. We spoke a lot about why you should leave. From the aspects of us looking at an abusive relationship. But I want to ask those who are in or have been in an abusive relationship, what was some of the reasons why you stood? I want to know the thought process in that. I think that would give me or all of us a better insight to even how we give advice to someone. Because the first thing people say, you got to leave, man. That's... You know what I'm saying? But not understanding the depth. So if anybody want to share that, like some of the reasons why, and I know kids, but I would love to know the mind frame, you know, of what and why that happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I think that would give great to the conversation.
You know, listen, man. That's a hard question, Spud, man.
Yeah, and that's why I asked if anybody want to share. I would love to.
People just, they gotta understand. You know, they do it for their family to be together. You know, they don't want to break up the family, the kids, but not realizing you hurting everybody that's in the situation.
Romero said, you know, the soul starts hanging on to false hopes and happiness and not healthiness. And I can see that. You know, we always hear, you know, movies depict a lot of the same type of thing, like, he's going to change. And it's always the he in the movies. And it's always the he in the movies.
And I'll tell you, not to cut you off, the ones that give the advice don't have nothing. They have nothing. They don't have no family. They have nothing. Their first intention is to tell you to leave because they lonely. They don't know what you're going through.
Yeah.
So those are not the ones you want to go to. You need to go get help, both of y'all. I think that's the best situation in this. Go get help.
But the abuser necessarily don't think about getting help because they're fueling an action that suits them.
Well, that's not.
You see what I'm saying?
You see, as a woman, as whatever woman, they should tell somebody. Tell somebody.
Nah, yeah.
Tell somebody. Just speak up. Tell somebody that you trust and love. Because believe me, the situation might be handled. You can't keep going through that and being, if you're getting beat up or verbally, whatever you're going through. You don't want to go through that. It's not a good feeling.
Yeah.
It's not a good feeling.
And it's not healthy.
At all.
It's not.
Now you sick, you're not eating. Whatever you're doing, you're messing up your life.
Dawn said I tried to tell someone and they walked away. He blocked me.
Yeah.
And you're gonna get that.
Yeah,
You're gonna get that because some people want to mind their business. Some people fearful of how they can intervene. Some people are probably fearful of your situation. So I believe you're gonna run across people who are gonna be resistant to it. But that's when you weed out, how you go about sharing it and who you share it to. You know what I'm saying? And it's good to know that, I shared it with this person and they walked. Now you could gauge where that relationship, and not to say that person's a terrible friend. They might not know how to deal with that, or might be too close to home to deal with that. There are many. Look, now Cassie's abused.
I don't know about that situation. That situation is kind of weird too.
There's a lot of elements.
That's kind of weird.
There's a lot of.
That every day is getting more weirder and weirder.
That one, yeah, that one's a little.
That's getting real crazy. Whatever she was going through, I don't know if she was loving. Listen, I don't know. I don't even want to talk about the girl anyway, cause I don't know who's telling the truth over there now.
I don't think they have like a men crisis thing in some states, and that's deep. For everybody on TikTok and Kate, one of individuals on the Instagram chat said, I don't think they have a men's crisis. In some states, they probably don't have it in most states.
You gotta find somebody to speak to, man. If they don't have it, but you need somebody to talk to, man. I know you have somebody. Somebody. It gotta be somebody that you could just look. Renegade Revolver just came on here. I don't know. We don't know him from. I don't know him from a hole in the wall.
I know who the brother is. Yeah.
Well, I don't know him.
But I'm grateful he spoke up.
No, but I'm saying you know him. He could call you. He could call anybody. You need to speak to somebody. You have to let it out. It's just like with the mental health. You have to talk.
You gotta get it out.
You gotta get it off your chest because it's gonna build anger, or it's just gonna.
You gotta get it.
It's gonna put you back down. Then you're really gonna feel like the lady said. You're gonna feel broken. Yeah. Once you get broken, you're tired. You're ready to give up. You still have life. There's things that could change, man. You gotta want the change. You have to make the change.
Yeah.
Nobody can make the change for you, and if you're holding it in, that's not gonna help you, bro. Call somebody that you really
call someone, or even when you see the opportunity, take it.
Okay.
You say, yo, open the door. Yo, seriously, like even like the moments like this, you took the opportunity to vent. This is a moment for relief. So when you find those moments or those places or those people, take those moments to let it off. Get some of that steam off. Release the pressure. You know what I'm saying? Like as they say when you're making hooch, you gotta burp it. You gotta crack the top. Let the because if you don't, though, it's gonna bust.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's gonna bust, and I'm a science head. I love science and weird stuff like that. And if you let pressure expand too much, you won't even be able to get the top off. So you're just doomed for explosion. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta find your pockets, man. And not to say men, women, to make it different, but for a man, there are less outlets and less places and less safe spaces to talk about situations like that, because you could bring that up to a group and they might try to make it. Now it's a fun and joke.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Now it's funny.
Cool,
Now they got jokes instead of really. So for a dude, it's really hard for a safe space in that environment. You know what I mean? So you most definitely slam one. He said, when I slam one, that is the best venting I can do. It's just crazy.
Nah, serious, man. You just gotta speak up, man. You have to, man. Don't hold it in, man. Call somebody, man. You know, listen. Life is gonna get better when you let it out, man. It might not be to the person you want to vent to, but you gotta vent to somebody, man.
Yeah, it start eating. It start eating you out. Yeah, you start noticing your health going, and you got headaches, and your blood pressure high, and you getting ulcers and all kind of stuff. Like these things, these mental and even spiritual things stresses that we have start showing in different aspects of our lives, just as much as our physical interferes with our mental and our spiritual. Like you start getting stress in one outweighing the other, it starts to bleed into other aspects, and it gets noticed.
Yeah, you lose weight. You're not eating right. You're not sleeping right. You know, you gotta want the best for you. You gotta want the best for you, man. You know, all you could get is advice, but you are the one that controls your life. You have to control everything in your life, man.
Yeah, Romero crew, love always. Salute. We getting much love.
You gotta want it yourself, man.
You do.
You get advice and you take heed to it. It might be the wrong advice, but you're gonna take some of that advice with you. Trust me.
And at the end of the day, at the end of it all, there is a decision that male, female, anyone in a situation that they no longer feel is productive, loving, or healing or growing, you have to make a decision. Like knowing what you don't want no more is one thing. Now you have to act on what you know. There's a lot of times we juggling the thoughts. Do I really want to be here? And like my man Renegade said, I was contemplating a second apartment just for solitude. Like once we start getting into those places to make it comfortable for us in all the equations mentally, while it's still actively happening, we have to make a decision. And you have to make a decision for your sanity, your health, your well-being. And you got to act on it. So not only having the conversation, the thoughts of what you can do starts, the conversations is the transition, but it leads to a place of a decision. And like Dawn said, I had to leave. I had to leave. Like I had to leave, and even if you gotta leave, just to get into your own huddle,
start all over,
and start deciphering what your next move, because it's so hard to be in a place of chaos or abuse and still be putting your game plan together. It's hard.
Sometimes you need to be alone too.
You do.
You have to sit sometimes alone, and
you do
and walk. Listen,
you need that time with yourself.
You need that time.
You need that time with yourself.
You know, if you just sit there and keep taking it and you're not going nowhere, you have to go. You have to go. Walk out. See how it feels. Mm-hmm. Just to be, it's hard. It's hard. It's very hard, man. It's hard, man. And people that go through that, you sometimes being alone is the best thing in the world, bro. And to vent when you're around people, they might not want to hear it. Just talk. Say something, man.
I'm the new friend. Oh, tell Cartier I'm the new friend. I done upgraded today. I was waiting. Man, it took a long. I've been hearing Bosco and everybody. I just upgraded. Tell Cartier I just upgraded today.
That's not cool.
I'm hyped.
I didn't even want to read that. I was hoping it went across the screen.
Yeah.
I was hoping it went across the screen.
I seen Cartier, he just walked past me.
Nah, not no more.
He gave Bosco that. I'm just like,
I was hoping that went up a little bit. I was like, oh man, here
I
we
just
go.
upgraded today. Great way to come back. Great way to come back.
My God, Cardi, man. I ain't gonna hear the last of this one. Oh my
That's my new friend. Shout out to Cardi. Cardi, I seen you and I see you. You heard?
Yeah, he bugged out. But on that note, man, I want you to just get up, man. Get up and try something different, man. Don't get yourself in no trouble, man. Renegade Revolver, you said the Jersey laws are different, so you know what you gotta do, man. And very limited on self-defense. You don't need to protect yourself if you can walk away, man, and get away from the problem, man.
Yeah.
Because if they very limited on self-defense, you're going to be the bad one. You're going to be the bad guy in this one, man.
Yeah, you got to really think that through, man.
You have to, man.
You really got to think that through, man. Especially in the midst of heat. Like, I learned that it refreshing not too long ago in the midst of the heat. And the heat is, the anger, the frustration, the madness. It's so easy to act in that. But there's a lot that come after that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's real heavy.
Yeah, since Thursday. Nah, man. You got to listen, man. Figure it out, man, before it. I'm happy that whoever you are, you came on here and said that, man. Because there don't be too many people saying stuff like that, man. And me, like, I'm going to just give you my advice, man. Just figure something out, man, before it don't end right, man.
And this is gonna be my advice to Renegade. I don't wanna feel like we pounding on somebody's or whatever. You just mentioned that you was in county since Thursday. If the law gets involved, that transition is uncontrollable now. You know what I'm saying? It's uncontrollable. So you really got some decisions, my brother. Be safe. And really think about the well-beings, not only of you, but everyone in that situation, man. Cause
damn, I didn't even read that, but he was locked up.
Yeah, since Thursday.
Man, come on, man.
Yeah.
Man, bro. Listen, man. That's enough.
He was glad it was on camera.
That's enough, man. That's enough, man.
If it wasn't on camera, he wouldn't. And if it wasn't on camera, he would still be locked up.
But look what he got to go through.
Yes.
Look everything that we just talked about. He just said that today. I was in the county since Thursday. And, bro, listen, man, you got to do what's best for you, man. Right now, do what's best for you, man.
Yeah. Put it this way. Imagine if there was no camera.
Yeah, and you be sitting up there for no reason.
With no control of where you be sitting.
Tomorrow.
So take this time right now to assess that. And matter of fact, my advice to you, however, you be your camera. And what that means is put yourself in the places you need to be so that way you're not sitting somewhere you don't want to and under the control of somebody else, man. Because that ain't fun. That ain't never fun.
Thank God you made it home, bro.
Yeah, salute to you, my dude. Keep your head up.
For real, man.
Keep your head up and keep finding that way, bro. Keep finding those outlets and those moments. You know, they say, my wife says this a lot, find your tribe. And when she first used to say it, she's saying it for years. I used to take it in superficially, but then I started to see when you find your tribe, when you find the people that get you and you get them, even if you're opposites, how much growing and building you can have, man. Even if you disagree. Me and him disagree all the time because he crazy.
No, he crazy.
See, we disagreeing now.
He crazy.
But it creates a growth and a community and a bond, man.
Yeah.
When you find that. So when you find your people, man, grow with them. Don't be fearful to grow with them. That's another thing. You meet them in one place. Don't mean 3 years from now they're going to be in that same place or you. So don't forget to grow with your people. You got to grow with your tribe as well. Let your tribe see the leaves flourish and you blossom because they're going to keep looking at you like a seedling when now you're a full-length flower or rose or a tree or cactus, whatever kind of plant or whatever it is you want to be, just for analogy sense, you know what I mean? So grow with your people.
Yeah, might not have the same opinions, bro. Might not never, but Sometimes listening will take you far, bro. A lot of people
Yep.
don't listen, man, and it's hard for people to listen. They got good advice, but they don't listen to their own advice.
Yeah.
And that's what killed a lot of people, man.
And people give you advice on what they would do
Yeah.
if they were you, not what you should do. Be careful with advice. I tell people always with advice. People give it. So if you ask me for advice, chances are, and I'm just giving you, I'm gonna put my fears, my flaws, my shortcomings in the sense of the advice, or even my strengths and my empowerments in the sense of this advice, which it might not apply to you. I might be like, what? Pack your stuff, get your stuff, and walk out that door with your head high. Now, I applied how I would. That might not be the case. I might have to tell somebody, listen, when you go to sleep, pack your bag, have a backpack, have your clothes folded and everything situated. Don't even, just get a garbage bag, woof, like you throwing out trash, and run. I might have to give someone that advice. That's not how I would do it, but when you're giving advice, there's an art. I always say this, there's an art in advice. And you gotta really not even put yourself into the person. See the person. Don't put yourself. See the person and give them advice for them. And that's the thing about advice. People always put themselves.
You can't put yourself in something that you don't know what you've been through. So you could put yourself in a situation. If you ain't never been in a situation, that's never gonna work. Your advice just went out the window.
Yeah.
You know, I'd rather you just talk to me and don't give me advice if you never been through the situation.
Yeah. But it happens so fast.
Yeah, but that's how you talking out of pocket.
Yeah, that's
if you told me something and I feedback to you, if I never been through it, but I can't reply to something. And what would I do if I never been through it?
Yeah. No, I get you.
You know, people jump the gun a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, if it was me, but it's not you. That's the exact word.
That's how fast it happens. But, what? They did what?
Yeah.
Yo, if that was me,
I would have did this.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and people don't realize when they do that. People don't realize when they do that. You just discredited the person you're in front of because you just said their decision was flawed.
Yeah.
When you do yo, what? Couldn't be me because I would have. So then, what are you saying about me?
He dumb.
You know what I'm saying?
He dumb.
What you actually saying about me? But people be so caught up into their investment of themselves, they don't even realize when they do that, man. So be careful with advice, you know what I'm saying? And be careful how you give advice.
Sometimes it's best to just listen and give a little feedback. Just give a little feedback. Because if you never been through it, you know, and like you say, you make people feel like shit when you say if it was me. But it's not you, it's me. You know? It's it's not you, it's not we.
Yep.
You know, and a lot of people just don't know how to... listen, man, you just got to know where you at in life, man.
You know who your real friends are when they deny that collect call.
Oh, man, I don't even want to talk about those, bro.
I did collect calls for 13 years.
Oh, my God, bro. Listen, that's when you know your circle's small.
Halfway through them years, them collect calls wasn't banking them.
But that's what I'm saying, Spud. After you see when he said that, Spud, that make you realize in life what you have in your hands.
It does. And I don't want to segue, but the person I am, I used to feel that same way. You know who your real friends are when they deny your collect call, right? And then I started to realize, no, that's a flaw of mine. It ain't that I realize who my real, because you're gonna find some friends that'll push the limits to make sure that's accessible, but I can't put the pressures
on everybody
of maintaining that to do that. And it took me coming home. It took me coming home to really decipher, man, because I'm banging 3, 4, 5 collect calls a day, calling my sister, my brother, itches on here, calling the crib, having them do 3 ways, yada yada yada, not knowing like a monthly bill. I'm breaking up two stacks.
Yeah, off the calls,
collect calls,
and you gotta eat.
And now this is the flip side of that saying, like, you know who your real friends are when they deny the collect calls. And I gotta understand how much I really love someone, monitoring how many times I call, because I'm draining the bank.
Yeah, and your pocket.
I'm draining the bank. You know what I'm saying?
And that's another thing. If you upstate or you need commissary, you calling so much they can't send you nothing.
And they got bills.
Yeah, they got family.
They got hardships.
You know, they got
they
listen.
got stuff going
but
on.
you know what? That's just the mentality of sitting in the cell. You understand?
Not only the cell. Yes, the cell.
And when you're in a predicament.
When you in a yes.
And when you're in a predicament.
You just so clouded by.
You'll be like, you know what? F them. They don't mess with me.
And
but
that's not the case.
It's how do you. I can't say how you ask. It's just the time that you called was not your time to get what you wanted.
Yeah.
You know, and at the end of the day, your family, your friends, there's a limit of them, bro. You don't just have friends to call a crib and think they're going to pick up that jack.
Yeah.
They not picking up that jack, bro, because you ain't putting nothing in their pocket. Yeah. You wasting the money in their pocket.
And when it comes to friends, gauge it. Gauge your friends.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I say friendship to me is like a graph system. You know what I'm saying? I got friends right now that I won't even bring my kids around. Right? I won't bring my kids around. They gonna say something, but if I got like a war, if I'm in war, I'll call them. I know they gonna go all out for me. All out for me. But I'm not putting my social security in their name. You know what I'm saying? Nah. And then there's some people that I'll be like, yo, do me a favor, go pick up my kids. Yo, drop them, here's my keys. But I know if it go down, they gonna run. I know they gonna run. But they'll break their neck to make sure my kid is good. So I started to understand friendship is I gotta meet you where you are and accept that. I can't put the responsibility like across the board, all my friends across the board do every gauge. Because I'm going to be disappointed when the time comes and I'm looking at you like, yo, why you ran? Why you ran? And you ain't my friend. And he can be like, what? But I hid all your stuff or I picked up your kids and yo, I put money in your pocket and I did this. And now I'm holding him to that one. Yo, he ran on me. That ain't my friend. He not built for that. He not built for that. So you got to meet people where they are.
It's hurtful when you think somebody really mess with you and bang the phone up on you. That's the worst part.
Yeah.
You know,
they said one time I called Spud late night. They let me rock till Spud played. Yeah, I remember that. It's
that situation, Spud. At the end of the day, you don't let everybody. You can't call everybody a friend. You cannot call everybody a friend. And friend is, listen to me, Spud, I allow you around you allow me around your family and you know my family and we good. You know, you don't allow people to get too close to you. And a lot of people won't know your surroundings or nothing. So I have a lot of associates, yeah. A lot of people that I can chill and, you know, but like friends, it ain't about the bread, bro. The bread make you enemies, man.
It ain't about the bread.
So when them collect calls, if he don't pick up, hey, it's not your time to get the collect call, bro.
And don't get me wrong, I used to be hurt.
No, it's hurtful.
When I was in there,
you're in a predicament. You can't. You need. Spud, when you call and they bang that jack.
And you hear the pickup? Because you hear the
yeah.
You hear the hello, and then it goes into, this is an automated call. We have Spud on the line. Would you accept this call? Press 0 now. And they give the whole speech, and then your joint was dubbed. You be like, damn.
That's hurtful.
It is. Hey, Miss Groves. Shout out to Miss Groves. If anybody been watching the show or know me, they heard the story of Miss Groves. Miss Groves was, I always say my 3rd grade teacher, but she was my 4th grade teacher.
Yeah?
Yeah, she was my 4th grade teacher, who is the grandparents of my kids, but this is the lady who I always talk about getting out of prison and paroling to. That's Miss Groves.
Oh, that's Miss Groves.
Yeah, see, you see, so now you know. Now you know. Yeah, that's Miss Groves. Patricia Groves, Miss Groves. I still be like, when I'm talking about her in that sense, I always say Miss Groves, but that's Pat. But even earlier this week, I was telling a story about her kind of reprimanding us in the hallway in school. And I was like, yeah, Miss Groves, and the kids were like, Miss Groves, like, who you talking about? And I was like, Pat. And it was like, Grandma Pat, why you still calling her Miss Groves? And I was like, yo, there's moments where she gotta be Miss Groves, bro. That's it. I gotta tell the story as Miss Groves. It's not Pat. That's not Grandma Pat. That's Miss Groves, you know. But shout out to Miss Groves, man. Shout out to Miss Groves. But in there, I was clouded by that moment as well. Like, I wrote letters to my friends, like threatening them.
And you know, Spud, I don't know how.
Bro.
You know, like even sitting there, Spud, and thinking back, yo, Spud, you know how they say to speak to people? I think it's best to not speak to anybody.
Nah.
I'm not saying that to call a crib. Not to call a crib. I'm saying like to call one of your mans. Because they might be partying.
Yeah,
you understand?
Yeah,
I think it's best to not know what's the outer world. Because that's the first conversations people do have. Yo, what the streets look like.
Yeah, but it's a balance, right?
I understand the balance. The scale.
You want to know a little bit because you feel so out of touch. Like all you got is trees and metal, like gates, bars, and trees,
and keys.
And keys. That's it. So you know what I'm saying. You want to know a little bit about the town, and live vicarious through your friends and all that, and the people that's outside, and you know what I'm saying. You kind of want a little bit of that. But you do gotta balance it out between your realities. But for me, when I didn't hear from my friends on it, you know, it was music videos. Music videos told me the story.
Everything.
I just watched a music video.
Yeah, but remember, like when they say if they call now, like yo, what the club is like why am I talking to you about something that you can't go to?
Because you wanna.
I don't want to.
You
see
don't.
Me.
But in there, you want.
They happy to.
You want that story. You want to feel alive.
They happy. You happy to hear that, right?
Yeah.
So like even when they ask for people, yo, how this person doing? You know. It's just like
because you feel like you're getting forgotten.
I never thought about the mail neither, Spud.
Yo, the mail call?
My uncle would write to me, Spud. I swear to God.
Son.
And you know what? That you said that it was so hurtful. I feel so bad because he would write and I would never write back.
Yo, bro, I ain't gonna lie to anybody that's online right now. If you got anybody who's locked up, and I'm not gonna say, I know it's hard to be consistent, but if they write you, just double back, man. Write them back, even if
just
it's
a little paragraph.
Even if it's a line, and yo, I'm thinking of you. Even if it takes a few months, I love you too, Pat. Even if it takes a few months, dude, I can't tell you what mail call does for your bid, bro. It's like the power up. It's like. Throughout the whole day, you know how in a video game you get hit 4 times? Like throughout your day you get hit 3 times and then you down on your last, and then mail call is usually done on the almost to the later half with midday. So mail call's around 5, right before last rec. So mail call could power you up, bro. And the way they do mail call, bro, it's like 60 sales, right? 60 sales. Most times the sales is double bunked. So 60, you got over 100 motherfuckers. And as they're going, they start from 1. They'll be like 1, and as they call your name, that means you got mail. 2, 3, say you in 7. They get to 6, you sitting there, and then they be like 10. You be like, damn. And then they just keep going, and you hearing all the names, getting mail, and then it's like. Alright, get on the child. Shit crack open, and you go to child, and you sitting there with no mail. That, and then you gotta hold up though. That's the thing about prison. A lot of people don't know. 90% of the prison, you don't know that we hurting. It's a few people you see break down. It's a few people you hear crying in they cell at night. It's a few you see sprinkles of it. We all hurting, but we gotta hold it.
Yeah, you have to.
We gotta hold it. So you know how hard it is to be hurting. Hold it and then go to the yard and just bust out sets. Working out, hitting the ball, doing dips, doing your push-ups, dapping your man up, You go back to your cell, shower, then you watch a movie, then you lock back in. And then you just waiting for 5 p.m.
For another milk.
Mail call. My bid was mail call. Mail call was the pinnacle of my day. Day started and ended with mail call. 5 p.m. when mail call came. That's all I woke up in the morning. I don't care if it was riots. I don't care what it was. I wanted to get to mail call, bro. So I could read and then I could write. And shout out to Miss Groves. Like I mentioned, was my 4th grade teacher, but she was a teacher in many grades when I was incarcerated. She would have her students
Write letters
to me.
Oh, that's dope.
Her whole entire class. I would make like illustrations of cartoons. And I would like tell little stories in cartoons, or I'll share little, and then I would give advice. They would ask me, if my friend said I should do this, what should I do? And I would write them back. And I'm talking about, her class had like 30, 32 kids. Bro, my lamp on, I'm busting my pen to 32 kids. That was life. You know how much energy I got, bro? I'm in there just talking, bro. That's like being on the jack all night. Writing, and then I'll mail it out. I'll just mail it out. Yo, I can't tell you, man. Pen the letter, mail call. Now they got the JPay. You could like I send my man text messages.
Yeah, from the tablet.
I don't
have
know,
a tablet.
I don't know if I could imagine that still being a good thing.
Yeah, have a tablet.
To have that communication.
But it's only I think it's only $10 they put on there, my G. They put $10 and
And then you got the stamps.
there's no I'm talking about the iPad. I think you could video one time.
You could video. You could send. No, but I think you could pay more to have it now.
Yeah, but I think they do the video, and the JPay they take your bread like every time you do get on the JPay. So with the video, with the iPad, it's $10 a month.
Pictures. My man who helped me build the studio, this portion, he helped me put the walls up. He locked up. He got 25. My man David Hall, bro. And you know what he said to me in one of the JPay messages? He wrote me this whole thing apologizing to me. Yo, bro, I'm so sorry, because he never wrote me. And he was like, yo, bro, I'm so sorry. I never knew this is what you was going through. He apologized to me, bro. Because now he knows the importance of what that does, bro. Even how much I stress the importance to you right now, you will not know the depth of how powerful that is. Pat is the GOAT. Ms. Jackson said, yo, what do you think about the father-daughter dance? Do you think it was a good thing for families who have loved ones in prison? So if anybody don't know the father-daughter dance,
and I saw that the other day
in San Quentin,
yeah.
I know some people who I know some people who were involved in. I know the person who set it up.
That's dope, bro.
Miss Jackson knows. Miss Jackson's a plug. Miss Jackson knows the person who set it up. Like while they were setting it up, like they would share what they were doing. And I remember telling Miss Jackson, this is an amazing thing. And I know there was a lot of questions about it, but in New York they have this thing called Family Day.
Yeah, you
go up and your daughter, your kids, but to have a father-daughter dance in San Quentin, and obviously out there they don't do a lot of events.
Those are lifers too.
Yeah, big all kind of cases.
Yeah,
and it was. I said it was gonna be successful because a lot of people look at
would love to hold their kids.
Their kid, man, and
I can't even watch those, Spud.
You can't watch?
Oh man, I cry like a baby, yo. It's hurtful, bro. That it's a great thing for them, bro. But it's the aftermaths of when they gotta go.
Yeah,
that's the hurtful part.
Yeah,
that's one thing I never liked about visiting and being in that. Because I know that even though y'all tough, but y'all also have a heart too, bro.
Yeah.
And it's hurtful to see the gates closed and you can't leave with your family, bro.
Yeah.
That's the worst part of living in through that system. I had some, like, my family members, bro, just to go visit them, bro. I would be like, yo, I can't, bro.
And then now that's another thing that when you're incarcerated, you don't really take in perspective the experience that the visitor goes through. You don't know how hard that is. For us, it's like, yo, come see me.
Because you want to get out.
It's
Spud.
like,
my uncle always told me that, Spud.
yeah, come see me. Come see me. Put me on the dance floor.
Yeah.
Put me on the dance floor. That's all we keep saying. Put me. And when I got out and I went to go visit my man, bro, I couldn't believe what I experienced to go visit my man. And after I went to go see him, bro, I had 20 minutes. But I was there for like 6 hours.
Yeah.
Going through processing, doing all 6 hours, and I saw him for 20 minutes. I had a whole different appreciation for people who come to see, people. And for me, like my pops, my brothers came, my sister came, but I mentioned to my pops a lot, like, how much I really, like, people don't even know why I drive to Florida. You know why I drive to Florida, bro?
Took his time to see you.
That's my payback, bro.
But
that's my mental payback. My pops would drive through all kind of weather
to come see
me. And he would bring my family. He'll bring my brothers. He'll bring my friend. And he didn't use GPS. He would drive. I remember there was some visits, bro. He would drive all the way up there because he worked all night, and he'll put his head down, and I'd be like, get some rest, Pop. And I just had my hand on. I had my hand on his forearm, and he went to sleep on the visiting floor, and I'll just rest, Pop. And I'll be eating, I'll just rest, my pops. And that's why I drive to Florida to this day, bro.
He love you,
when
bro.
I'm on the road, that's all I think about. When I'm trucking to go see my pops every year, I'm thinking about all them hours that he put on the road for me, bro.
I was watching that thing with San Quentin, and I even seen the kids running to their father crying, bro. Because that's the first time.
The Quentin.
Yeah. And that's what hurts me, Spud.
It is. Miss Jackson just said, is it worse for families after the...
For the child, it is.
It's not.
I think it is,
No,
Spud.
it's not, bro.
Yeah, listen, you know what? They might be happy. They might be happy, Spud, because they hugged them like they wanted to. But it's the mental part is... When can I do it again?
Yeah,
that's the hurtful part.
I'm not gonna say it hurts. I'm not gonna say it's not hurtful, but the separation from the connection, you never forget that connection on both ends. Especially if that's your dad. Imagine being a kid. I don't care what situation our dads or our parents, our loved one is in, and you never getting to see them. You cherish, especially if you want to. That moment you get, yeah, it's gonna hurt to part. But that moment to embrace the power in that, I can't even put words to it. Yeah, it's gonna hurt to walk out. Yeah, it's gonna hurt
to see him where he going.
It's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt. But you would never, and you would cherish that moment forever, bro. Forever.
You will, Spud. But you know what's the hurtful part, Spud?
Nah, she said these kids will be more traumatized. No, they won't. They will not be more traumatized.
They happy to do it. They so happy. Yo, I see kids running to them. And I see dads break down, bro.
Yes.
I seen it.
Yes.
And this is... And you know what? That's more hurtful, Spud. When it's the first time you ever did that.
Yes.
And you got to spend the rest of your life behind a cell, and you can't give your... Spud, shit's hurtful, bro.
You see, like...
I'm sorry.
Like, even Miss Jackson said, I'm thinking those kids might be more traumatized. The concepts we as adults are placing those fears on those. No, bro. And the reason why I'm saying that, I didn't have kids when I was locked up. I was basically a kid when I was locked up. You know what I'm saying? But and even you said it's really life though. Teaches the consequences of incarceration, and it does. But in those moments, being a kid incarcerated or being with people who have kids who incarcerated, that human connection, whether it's they gotta separate and you part at one time, the empowerment, the development that it gives you to want to do right, to even the effects of the kids that you have that you're growing with, it's unparalleled to anything that I could mention. Traumatized, being hurt, all those are minimized things. Even you said absence is more traumatized. It is. The kid not having or the one moment to speak to their parent, bro, is worse than any visit having to part. Any visit having to part. Especially if the kid wants to, bro. if the kid wants to.
But every kid want their father and mom.
In
bro.
theory.
Every kid.
In theory.
And you know what? I'm not saying that it makes the kid's life, but I'm saying at the end of the day, you need it. You need it, Spud. You need it, bro. Listen, when my family in there, Spud, I feel broken, bro. I feel broken because I don't know what's going on. I can't physically grab them.
Yeah.
I can't physically do the things that when they home that we could do or, and cherish.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying the kids, maybe they never seen their father or their mother at that time. But to see them that one time and just dance and hug them, and you know that this is who created you, and you don't know when the next time it's gonna be, it's very hurtful, bro.
It's hurtful, but you cherish that.
No,
moment.
they cherish it, but I'm not saying they don't cherish it. You're gonna cherish, but when you see your family, when you walk through whatever you did, getting searched or all that, you don't care about nothing. That shit went out the door.
Yeah, went out the door.
It's just leaving. The leaving part is the hurtful part.
It is.
You know how you say, yo, I drive to Florida. You drive to Florida. Yo, Spud, you were so happy to see your dad that you just say, you know what, I'm going to just let him chill. No matter if you wasn't talking.
Yeah.
It's the family. The family is the key. You know, a lot of families don't help each other in there. There's a lot of dudes in there that's doing time and never seen their family a day in their life.
Yeah.
That's more traumatizing than them.
That's hard, bro.
The jail system don't make it no better for nobody. And if people could do the stuff that they doing over there, here, it might not be a lot of dudes going back to jail.
It's really hard, especially when you just said people who locked up and don't get to see their family or see anyone.
Yeah.
Like I think me. I don't know about anybody. Me, bro, I would lose it, bro.
Anybody would lose. Spud, you would lose.
My brain.
Now that you have kids, Spud, God forbid, bro, that's the worst feeling in the world, Spud.
Yo.
That's why I say to watch those things, Spud, we dads, bro. You know how it feels to come through the door and be like, yo, I could chill on my couch and see my baby girls. You understand? Those guys.
And now that I'm a parent, I look back. That's why I look back at my pops, bro. I was his last born. I went in at 15, bro. My daughter's 13. 2 years from when I went to prison for life. I look at her some days and I was like, damn, I was a baby, bro. I went in a baby. I could imagine what my family was going. Like, I'm lost in my pain. I'm imagining the baby locked up. I could imagine the torment they had, wondering like, yo, is he safe? Yeah. What's going on with him? Is he okay?
And remember, there was no social media.
There was no social media.
So they don't know what's going on.
They don't know nothing.
Now, imagine now, the things that they could see if they type in prison.
Yeah.
You understand? That's what I'm trying to tell you, Spud. It's not like...
Motherfuckers is FaceTime.
I'm just saying, Spud, the fights, the slashings, they don't know until you tell them. Back in the days. Now, you could see it.
I mean, the idea of prison, what you seeing now is the concept of what it was. Like everyone had basically a clear vision of prison. Like, prison life was pretty clear. Like,
torture.
Movies kind of depicted it, all right.
Torture.
I will say in New York, like, the raping and the sexual stuff in New York prisons is not. Like, that part is really diminished. In 13 years, I ain't never seen no raping and none of that.
It's just the torture.
If a dude snuck around, he indulged in that. You know what I'm saying? He indulged in that.
That shit torture, bro.
But
it's torture, bro.
So
imagine if it's torturing you or another person. Imagine how you feel leaving them. Imagine that. That's what I didn't understand.
What, the person?
Leaving. Like, it hurt me more because I know that he's going back to this shit.
Yeah, but you know what? Every visit, you walk away, it's emotional to see them leave. It's like, damn, they leaving. But when I get back to the block, bro, I could carry 10 more boulders. The world ain't that heavy no more.
Cause you seen somebody.
I gotta, yes.
I'm just talking about the guys who don't see nobody.
The
guys who don't see nobody. Even if they write the letter to the crib, they look at the letter, see the DIN number, and throw it away.
Yeah, that's tough.
You understand? Those are the guys that be like, damn, I wish I did something better in life. Imagine that they get the one chance to dance with their daughter, Spud. How you think they would feel, bro? It's
when I heard they were doing the daughter dance, that was before it popped off. I told them, yo, it's gonna be a success.
Yeah, it's
gonna be a success.
And you know what? They made those guys days that they will love them people forever too. Whoever put that together, they gonna love them forever.
Yeah.
They won't violate them.
The system might not like them.
No, the system, because they giving them what they need.
Yeah.
You understand? But listen, at the end of the day, if the system will help these guys and put them somewhere in a platform where they could succeed.
We just saw what is the possibilities with this environment. And if you create more human environments, you can see what could flourish out of it.
Change a man's whole perspective of living.
But that goes to say, like, the system don't want that.
But the system is made for everybody to fail.
Yeah.
So it's like you get that one, like you always say, that one person that do care, that can make that change, it might could go on forever. It might could go on forever if somebody just keep it going. But prison, according to everybody, prison is like the scum of the scums.
Yeah.
There's people in there that are very smart, creative.
Yo.
They do things that you be like, what is going on in here, bro?
I've seen my man take a picture and scope whatever you give him in a picture out of soap.
I believe it.
Bro, he get a whole bar of soaps. He get the 190 from the water. Pour a little bit, the cold craft soaps. He throw a whole bunch of cold craft soaps in a bowl. He get the 190 from the crock pot. He put a little bit. He pour a little baby oil in it. Let it sit. Everything start melting together. He start making a ball. And I watched the man craft. I mean, from dragons to baby faces. Whatever picture you give him, he craft it. As long as you got them cigarettes.
Even the sheets.
What? Bro, I done seen magic.
Yeah, I done
seen magic.
The sheets with people, Happy Mother's Day, instead of the cars, they getting the sheets. Nice dope sheets, a little towel. Yo,
all that, bro.
I see. Yo, the batteries killed me with the Brillo sticks.
Yeah.
When I saw the batteries, and I was like, man.
People making tattoo guns out of Walkmans.
Yup. Yeah.
Walkmans, bro. I done seen it all, bro. I had magicians, bro.
They
magic,
good, bro. They do things that if they would come into the world and get the chance to come in the world, somebody take their idea.
Yeah.
Somebody will snatch their idea faster than they think it is, because they think they winning.
And the creators, when you in that space, man, you just kind of lost to the creative aspects of what you got. You know what I'm saying? And then you try to figure out what makes sense for you to continue on. You know what I'm saying? And for me, it was writing. Like, I would write. I'm talking about raps, poems, stories, plays. I made my own religion. And I still got the books. My wife makes fun of me all the time. I would just write concepts, ideas, anything. I would just write.
You keep them?
I still got them. I still got every book I got. Right?
You ain't got no clothes though, right?
Nah. No clothes. I mean, I got the clothes at my first day home. I still got my boots.
Not the state boots.
Not state boots.
Oh, I'm talking about those. I'm just saying, the greens, the state greens with the.
No. The greens. They're not even letting you leave.
No, my uncle took a pair of greens.
He took greens.
He took a pair of greens and a shirt. But he took it. But just to see a name on the green.
I had my tag. I ripped my tag off.
You took the tag?
I took my
tag. The ID they give you the ID too.
Yeah,
the ID too. That's what he was using when he first.
My first day home, I went to DMV.
You get your ID?
What? I'm not using that. Talking about they release. What? I'm walking around with a release ID? Hell no. I was in there trying to get the ID. I slid the lady. She was looking at me like,
yeah.
She's like, you got 48 hours. I ain't got no 48 hours. I need my ID today.
Do that right now.
I need and then they gave me the. I'm like, I'm thinking, because I never knew. You know what I'm saying? I never had ID. So this is I thought you get your ID.
You got the card.
They gave me a little paper thing. I'm like, what's my ID? They was like, it's going to come in the mail. I'm like, nah, I need my ID. No, you could use that. I'm like, nah, I'm not using this. But I ain't know nothing.
it's
It was a new world, bro. It was a new world. It was the internet. There was no internet.
even going shopping now, Spud. You can't even send the food no more, Spud. You gotta order from them.
See?
You gotta order from them. Remember before you get the 35 pound, but you got the 35. You could get whatever you wanted.
35 pound a month. You know what I'm saying?
Then when I go sometimes on a family visit, we swap the kicks, the kicks off.
Kick the kicks.
Yeah.
You under there. Slide in the kicks.
Yeah.
Switch your rules.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You know, living.
Dudes was buying the small chains. They were buying the small chains, telling their people wear a different chain, swapping out the chains, because your chain can't be over $50. So they had a place, a catalog called Access, and in the Access they sold sweatsuits, jewelry, Walkmans and stuff. So people would pay like the $50, get the $50 thin hollow chain,
and then come
back with a brolic joint, and then they'll have a chain and all that. You make do, bro. You make do.
Even those like when I would go see them do the family day. Oh man, everybody was doing something that they wasn't supposed to, bro.
Yeah.
I'm like, man.
Family day, the officers will come and they'll be like,
they don't even care. They didn't even
like
care.
this. For the first 45 minutes, we giving y'all, and they'll do what they doing. So if you come with your chick, this dude's on the visitor floor, with their chick, and you like, damn, bro, like you got your wifey out on the everybody,
and they don't
like
even
this.
care. They up there getting buttered up in the morning.
And
they straight buttered up.
They don't
taking that long trip. They got curling irons, makeup, all that, bro.
I seen it all, man.
Doing it up. I'm like, damn, son.
But I remember one. Speaking of visits, I remember one. This was 1996. This was my very first family day. I got a picture of me at family day in the yard. I took a picture dolo. I still have that. I was wearing a red shirt, collar shirt.
That's the one you posted?
Yeah, that was family. And I'm like this. I had a blowout because they didn't have a barber.
Yeah,
they didn't have a barber. That's family day, 1996 family day, bro. I'm standing in the back of the big yard.
Damn, outside. You was in jail 96?
96. I got locked up 95.
96, I graduated, bro.
It was in the mountains, kid.
1990.
No mustache, no beard.
Yo, you looked like the youngin'. You had the blowout.
I had a blowout. They had no barber. I had waves at first.
You had the blowout.
Had the blowout. They had no barbers. But that family day, right? My pops and my brother, I think it was my pops and my brothers was like, yo, we're going to come for family day. And my uncles, Eddie and Al, was like, yo, we want to come. You guys go up there all the time. So I told my pops, listen, y'all come every visit. Because my pops would come every visit. Well, at that time, he was coming once a month. And I was like, yo, since y'all come all the time, y'all come on the regular visit and let Eddie and Al come. And I told Eddie and Al, they was like, yo, we're going to make some tapes. So I spoke to the CO. They were going to let me get some tapes because they did dub plays, reggae music. So I was like, yo, make me some dub, hook me up. And they were like, yeah, all right, so we coming. We on our way. So I give to the past, yo, my uncles are on the way. So they, if you don't got a family, they normally don't let you go. They was like, all right, cool, we let you go with the family day. So, yo, I'm waiting, bro.
Nobody
1 hour,
showed up.
2 hour, 3 hour, 4 hour. Yo, 5 hours in, ain't nobody. I started just serving and helping everybody's family, and I just stood busy, and I was happy to see my mans with their family, but yo, I was crushed, and I just kept busy. Yo, y'all hungry? Yo, you want something to drink?
You see how you
and
just
I ran around here. Yeah. Oh man, I played with the little kids. I'm gonna get you a plate. You want cake? And I just ran around. And then when it was closing, I just clean up. And I'm telling Seal, no, I'm staying. I'll clean up. And I just stood busy, bro. Yo, I was crushed.
Because you was looking for.
And that's that picture. Everybody got one picture with their family, and I took it dolo. They were like, "You gonna take it?" I said, "Yeah, I'm taking it." And I said, "I'm right here," and I stood right there, and I took that picture, kid. I had the Nikes with the red checks to them. And I remember that. I remember that day,
I think
bro.
you showed me the picture.
I remember that day, bro. I was crushed, bro. They never came, bro.
My uncle always used to tell me that. His whole slogan was real niggas do real things. His whole slogan. I swear to God. Because I always used to tell him. I was young. He always used to be like, yo, come see me. I'm like, yo, bro, I'm tired of getting searched, bro. I'm getting searched like I'm locked up. But I messed up, Spud. I messed up. I think he took I messed up, Spud. I messed up, bro. my uncle always, one of my uncles would, I don't know, bro. For some reason, he always used to make me do like teach me the stupid shit to do, just in case he get incarcerated. And he ended up getting incarcerated, Spud. And I bought a magazine and I sent the dope in the magazine
And it got booked.
That shit got booked. I end up going like.
And it got booked. They ain't say nothing.
They ain't say a word, bro.
They was trying to. Yeah, they was
so
trying.
So check it. So I get up there.
That's how they do it.
I get up there again. I think I was in Elmira.
It said, look at my phone.
I think I was in. I think. Yeah.
Oh yeah, these are pictures from the top, son. They just got the picture right here. That's my pops, bro. Look at my face, bro.
Yes, boy, you look young as ever, bro. You ain't got on specs?
Huh?
You got on glasses, Spud?
Nah, I ain't got no glasses on.
Look at Spud, yo.
I ain't even have a beard, bro. Look at my pops here wearing my shirt. My Tommy Hilfiger shirt to visit me. Pull up in my gear. But
I sent the food in the magazine, Spud. Swear to God, I end up going to visit him. He was in Elmira. I went back on the bus, took the long ride. Yo, Spud, that one day, everybody's going through except me, Spud. Everybody. So the CO dude goes, yo, you, come over here. They put me in a room. They're like, yo, you could deny the visit right now. Just like that to me, Spud. They was like, do you got anything on you before we search or whatever? I was like, nah. I end up getting searched, Spud, and they swabbed my hands, my pockets, the bottom of my sneakers, like the bottom of my feet.
They were trying to catch whatever.
So then they made me sit on the seat. They got like a seat. So after that, Spud, I was flagged, yo.
Yeah, they not gonna let you go through. Miss Jackson said, put it to the camera. All right, first since Instagram asked, I'm gonna put it on the Instagram camera. That's me right there with my. Look at the face.
Spud, when he looked like I'll be sure.
That was me right there with my pops. Here, I'm gonna let the folks over here see it. That's me right there, 15. Well, I was 16 by then. Locked up in the mountains. You see that little kid, bro? That's a baby, bro.
You ain't got state greens on.
Nah, I had khakis. I had khakis and red.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I had the khakis. This was McCormick. This was McCormick right here. They ain't put me in state greens till 2000.
Right? 18?
Nah, they kept me in. I was in khakis.
You was in khakis
Yeah,
for a while.
I was in khakis too. I was 21 on my 20 on my skinny little kid. Yeah, I was a skinny little guy. I ain't got no tats to this day, Miss J. I was a rebel because I was like, yo, if it jump off, I don't need them identified. People was getting identified. I saw the stabbing. He had a cross on his forearm.
They get you.
Nope. No tattoos
They
for
get
me.
you. That's the first thing they take pictures of anyway when you
All
go
your
in
tats.
there. Everything.
All your tats.
Everything you go in there. And you know what, Spud? Like you say, the most humiliating parts when you gotta go back and they tell you to take a squat.
Take a squat, bro.
And look all in, like tell you, yo, listen. It say you got one more.
Oh wow, this is in my cell. You know, look.
That's the boom box?
That's the boom box. Look, I'm gonna show y'all. Look, this is click in my cell. Look, it's pulling them out. This is inside my cell. Look at the boom box. I dare someone touch my boom box. What? I couldn't live without my radio.
That's a good radio.
Now, this is me in my cell with the boom box. I'm taking pictures in the cell. Wildin'. But yeah, you know, I was a kid. That was 96.
That's the Polaroid. That's how you know that shit old.
Look at my Walkman on the counter.
Hell yeah.
I got my Walkman, and I used to leave it right there, my tapes. That's my system right there, bro.
CD player on the top?
Yep, CD player on the top. With two
It had the things that you put up and down.
The EQ? Yeah, it had the EQ in the middle right here. It was a Sony. My pop still got that radio in the crib.
Yeah?
Every time I drive to Florida, it's in the crib.
Just sitting there?
It's in the crib.
That's a classic.
The radio is still there. My pops
That's a
kept
classic,
it.
bro.
My pops kept it.
That's the way to live, bro.
Man, look at I ain't even have. This wasn't even connecting, kid.
At least you shaped up, my G.
Shaved up. I ain't have nothing.
Nah, they shaped you up.
Oh, you talking about my shape up here?
Yeah, they look. At least you got right. And I think the other picture, you got a fro.
That's when they got the barber back.
They got the fro, and you got to find the barber.
They one was coming in. They wouldn't let us. They wouldn't give us no clippers.
No.
What? We was too young and dumb. Word up. Word up. Yeah, son. It's pulling out the flakes. See, to itch, big bro. Little bro E, Spud. Love you, son. 96.
Damn, 96.
Wow.
My G.
96. This is when I broke my desk. I went to the box. I was stashing stuff on the bottom of my desk. They ripped my desk apart to find the bottom shelf.
You had a banger?
No, I didn't even have a bang. I had some weed, and I didn't even smoke. I was just moving some weed, and I had God body lessons. It was because it was contraband. 5%. You go to the box for having lessons, and in McCormick, 5% of lessons was box time. She said, "Yo, Spud, tell us who your barber was, and the connect." my barber, no, I don't know, some guy they brought in.
They go.
Yeah, right. Thank God I'm clean.
Thank God. She said, and the connect.
Like, whoa, wait. Hold on. Wait, what are you talking about?
Oh my God. She said the barber cool, but the connect, you going down.
Yeah, it was but damn, just looking at those pictures, man, like I was a baby, bro.
And look,
I was a baby.
You see like pictures like your Spud, I just recently took those pictures. I find a couple of them, but I don't even want to look at them. Yo, waking up at I think on the count was 5 in the morning. Count was 5 in the morning. Breakfast was 5:30.
Yeah, count. They did 3 counts a day. And and if they wanted to be
they did 3.
They'll throw in an extra one.
They did the 3 count.
Eat up your time. They'll be like on the count, and then they won't run count. So you can't come out till count is over. And for those that don't know what count is when they lock you back in, and they do a head count to see if everybody's still
in the same spot.
Like nobody escaped. And what they would do if they wanted to be a bozo, they'll call count, lock you in, and never come around to count. So you could be on count for an hour till they come back around, and they would do stuff like that.
Nigga, wake, you miscount, they don't open a cell.
No. They
Lay
ain't
down.
got to open account unless you're going to child.
Yeah, but I'm saying that if you that's another thing. If you ain't get up and they want it to be fucked up, they tell you, yo, you ain't getting nothing to eat today.
Itch pulled it back, son.
Look at you.
Look at that. Yo, son, I'm looking at this face, bro. Yo. I'll fuck you up, shorty. Nah. But I'm talking about the connect to Burroughs. Oh, the connect to Burroughs. Your barber. Nah, he wasn't my barber. Just trying to show some density to the music. So what Miss Jackson is talking about, and I'll tell this brief story. There was a dude that came to the prison, and this dude was like he was real like lavish. Like he used to look at everything. I ain't eating that. I ain't never touching that. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, you know where you at? You gonna get hungry. He's I ain't eating no jail food. He had this thing about him that I didn't understand, but he was a stylist. And he used to work with Usher. He worked with Puff, and he worked in the industry. So he ended up, he said that in the styling business, and this is his words, in the styling business, the gay community in the styling business ran him out because he was straight. So he was losing business. So he started to hustle to the models. A model got pinched, told on him. So that's how he ended up getting there. So I'm in my cell writing, and this dude comes to me, and he's like, yo, shorty, what you doing? Now, at first, I didn't like him. I love him. That's my brother to this day. Actually, we were supposed to go hang out the other day, but he was like, yo, you still a little sick. It's my brother to this day. I'm like, yeah, I'm writing music. He said, you nice? Let me hear something. He's like, yo, spit some street shit. So I spit for him. He was like, dude, spit some club stuff. I spit the club. He's like, yo, give me something to think about. I spit it. He walks away. He just walk away. I go back. A few minutes later, he comes back to my cell. Yo, go in the phone booth. 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 Hello? Dude was like, yo, my name is Kurt Burroughs. That's the dude who started Bad Boy Pup.
Oh, that's
He
the
put
dude.
me on the jack with Kurt. So Kurt's like, yo, I knew Shark for years. And he's never, ever bring anybody to me. So for you to get him to bring you to him, yo, we're gonna do some, yo, when you get out, he's like, yo, here's my address, let's talk, we can help, we're gonna get you on. So I go back and I'm like, who Kurt Burrows, bro? I ain't know. So he starts giving me a book and he's telling me about Kurt. I start reading about Kurt. And I'm like, oh wow, I just was on the jack with son. I keep getting hit at the board though. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting hit, so I'm like, I ain't coming home. My man Shark he made his board. Shout out to Shark. Shark came on, he made his board. He said to me, listen, I'm gonna write you. Now you hear this. I just met him probably like 4 months now. That's all I know him. 4 months. And the dude was like, yo, listen, I'm gonna write you. I'm gonna write you every week. I'm gonna send you shit. I'm gonna send you a magazine for you to study. He went home, sure enough, bro. He would send me the Billboard magazine, GQ magazine, and Men's Health. Those 3 things he would always send. Business, get my fashion together, keep my health. That's all. He won't send a letter. He'll send those religiously. When I made my board, he was like, yo, I got you, bro. I'm gonna bring you around. I get to Pat, that was just on. He comes to Pat, get out. He comes to Pat house with a merman. He just dropped like 900 on a coat. And in my head, I'm like, yo, you should have gave me the 900. But he was like, nah, you need a good coat. We're going to be in the field. We're going to be hitting these streets. He said, I'm going to bring you around to all these people. So he started bringing me around. He took me to the Woo. He took me to Jim Jones. He took me to 50 Cent. He was taking me all these places. And he was like, I got to get a manager. Kurt was getting it. The feds ran up on Kurt for Puff. People don't know Kurt Burrows actually did Fed time because he didn't want to tell on Puff. He did time. So Kurt was in a little jam. And I turned to Shark and I was like, yo, you bringing me to all these people, bro. Manage me, bro. Manage me. And he started Last Lap Entertainment. And he was managing me. And he was the dude just bringing me around. Actually, if anybody sees my logo, which is my face, that was him. He created the logo. I was in his... Just like this, we had this room called the Blue Room in his house. And that was we was to think in that room. And I'm sitting in a chair that spins. And I'm sitting here like, yo, what we gonna do next? What we gonna do next? And he was like, yo, we gotta get a logo. He always talked about me like drugs. He was like, yo, you heroin, bro. You the purest, bro. We gotta get a stamp. Because we gonna get the circle. He always just talk. And he took a picture of me sitting in a chair. And I just looked at him. And he was like, I ain't saying nothing. And he came back and he says, yo, I got the logo. And that's the logo right there. I use it to this day. Oh, okay. That's the logo right there to this day. And he showed me the logo and he said, yo, your face, bro. Because you face to face with it. He was like, yo, half of it's blacked out because that's the part of the unknown and this is the part you see. You got to pass and you got to feel it. He had this whole thing and that was the logo and we spray painted it in front of every record label, bro.
What you be doing now on the street?
Yep. We first we spray paint. I still got the first stencils right here on the wall. That's the very first stencil and we spray painted and that got me my first meeting. My first industry meeting. We spray painted in front of every...
Y'all still talk?
And we were supposed to go out this week. We were supposed to go out was it Friday? We were supposed to go out Friday. My man Sharky Don. If you ever see me at the Knicks game, I'm gonna say this. If you ever see me at the Knicks game, I'm on the floor. And the person I'm next to, whenever I'm on the floor at the Knicks game, that's Shark. If you see me on the floor, right next to Spike, because we sit right behind Spike, I'm with my man Shark. If you see me on the floor at the Knicks game, if you see a picture, and you see me with a dude, that's Shark. That's his name, Shark. That's my man. And we had problems. We had, not even problems, we had disagreements and issues because the game was changing. You know, and we still had an old way of attacking the music business, and it was changing. It was changing into this new media space because it was only my space.
At the time.
And that's how I became Spud Brooklyn. My name wasn't Spud Brooklyn. My name was Spud with an exclamation mark. All caps, exclamation mark. And when I went to create the account on MySpace, I couldn't get that. Someone had it. And everything that I would put, they had it. And then I saw somebody say Texas Spud. And I was like, Texas Spud. And then Nelly had a dude in his crew called City Spud. And I was like, all these Spuds, man, I'm Spud. And I got it from NA. When you in NA, you stand up and you be like, Spud, Brooklyn. You say your name and where you from.
Yeah.
And that's when I created my MySpace. Spud,
You had
Brooklyn.
to go to NA?
No. Yeah, I did NA and I ain't never had no drugs. Prison is crazy. Yo, bro, they made me go to NA when I got out.
I
didn't even have a...
I had to go there.
Because you had a drug charge.
Yeah, I had to
I
go
don't
to
have
anger.
a drug.
I had anger management.
NA.
And
And then a job treatment thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but the drug charge was the worst. So when I went to the program, I wasn't using drugs. I was the only one in there without a cigarette patch. The only one. I didn't use drugs, but I was hustling.
And that's why they push. Bro, I don't got a hustle charge. They still put me in it, bro. When I got out, I had to do that. So
I think that's mandatory.
That's
though.
where I got it from. Spud, Brooklyn.
I think that's mandatory, my G, to go through the whole process. And I would tell them I ain't a drug addict. They were spazzing there. Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo.
Bro, I was in there telling stories.
Oh, my God.
So when I was binging, right, I used to be in there just making up stories, and they be at the edge of their seat. It's good. You okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm great. Because I went in there with I was a kid. I didn't do no. Yeah, that's what they all say. And then I realized for me to get out of this program, I got to do my part. So I just went in there and just started telling stories. Yeah, I was binging. I was like, yo, I sold my little sister's game system. But I don't got a little sister. I'm the baby in the family. I'm in there like, yeah, I sold my little sister's game system because I just wanted a bag.
But I was in there for a long time, bro. I had to go for 6 months.
6 months?
I was there for 4 years. I was there for 4 years. I was smoking bud.
Oh, you can't.
I was smoking bud, and I end up going to the program high every day. So I'm thinking you just gotta show up.
No, bro.
So check it out, yo, Spud. I swear to God, yo, Spud. I'm in
there for years.
For years, Spud. I did a whole time. I did my whole time on that shit, Spud. I end up getting a violation, Spud. I end up getting a violation because I had so many dirties.
Yo, you wild.
And then I had the kiosk. I had the hand shit. So that I had the hand shit, I wasn't getting too much drug tests because I was working. So I had the hand shit. So me being in a program, all I'm listening to people saying, yo, I sniff dope, I smoke crack. I'm like, nigga, I smoke weed. What am I doing in here? I'm high as shit. I don't care who's talking, what they talking about. You know how you say hi, my name. I say my name, Nate. You know you got to say I'm an addict. I never said that word. I didn't believe I was none of that. So one time I get this, but the PO tell me, yo, we violating you. We violating you. So they sent me to an inpatient. Then I'm in an inpatient. I'm in an inpatient for 28 days, bro. 28 days I'm in an inpatient with all... It was drug addict. It was real drug. So now I'm bugging. I'm like, nah, bro. I'm like, nah, this shit gotta stop. I'm like, son, gotta give here, bro. I go back to when I get out, I gotta go to court now because I got a violation.
Yeah.
They ready to send me up north.
Up top.
So if I don't got the paper that I inserted myself in a program, they came to the crib and everything, Spud.
I know that.
To lock me up and everything.
They come.
So. At the time, I'm like, damn, I'm scared as fuck, yo. I'm scared to go even term. I'm like, yo, I don't want to go because I'm going back. I'm going back. I get to the court spot. It's like almost Thanksgiving. They let me go 4 days before Thanksgiving. Yeah. I get to the court and my lawyer across the street from the court. He could cross the street. I go to the office before I even go in there. Like, yo, you got to come to court, son. Like, you got to come with me right now. Ain't no turning back. Like, you gotta come help me. He get there. He said, yo, what's the problem? I said, yo, they violated me for the weed. He shook his head like, here we go again. I'm like, fuck. I get there, Spud. The judge like, oh, my lawyer said something. He like, yeah, he finished the 20. I did 23 days. 23 out of 28. They let me go early. Cause whatever.
Yeah.
I get there, they let me go. Yo, Spud, my heart beating like a motherfucker. Cause I'm like, yo, you know, Nassau County, you gotta listen, they don't play that shit. So I got my hands back there like this, like, damn, I'm gonna go back in the system, bro. Lady let me go. At the time, it was a lady judge. She let me go, bro. Yo, Spud, to this day, those are the worst times of my life, bro. 4 years sitting in a program thinking I just gotta show up. They ain't even giving me Metro cards no more to go home. I'm paying for my own
Like,
shit.
figure it out.
He's like, yo, he gotta figure it out on his own.
Yeah,
That was the worst
did-
thing in the world, bro.
I did 6 months in KSAT. I did 6 months in KSAT, and then
You went through. You couldn't get shocked, right?
no, I couldn't get shot. I did 6 months in KSAT, and then when I was on parole, I did, I think, 60 days. I did 60 days, a 60-day program. It was with it was right on Merrick Boulevard, Upkeep or something like that. It was anger, aggression, and Narcotics Anonymous, whatever treatment. And they put me in both, and I'm like, yo, why y'all putting me in this?
I think that's part of that
They
shit,
just
bro.
milking it,
I
bro.
went in that shit, Spud. I couldn't believe I'm in a drug program, bro.
I'm in there like, yo, I'm not an addict. I don't. You're in denial. The counselor was like, yo, you're not gonna complete this program if you don't. Once he said it, you're not gonna complete this program. I'm an addict. Yeah, man, I was stealing my kids, my daughter, my sister, my little sister's stuff. I'm in there lying.
But and the worst part I fucked up, the worst part that was fucked up, Spud, I smoked more weed in jail than I did in the streets.
Now you don't smoke.
Now I don't smoke.
It's them 4 years. Them 4 years.
Oh my God, Spud.
Now he don't even smoke.
Yo, Spud, that was the worst
now
shit.
it's legal,
Yo, Spud,
and everybody doing it,
and,
like-
and I don't even touch it. I will not touch it,
He's like,
Spud.
nah, I don't want it.
I will not touch nothing.
My man's freedom was on the line.
Everything, yo, Spud. I didn't care, bro. I was smoking like a motherfucker, yo.
Yo, the things we do when we
And
younger,
I smoking so much weed, Spud. Not really, yo, Spud. What really come me? When I went in the system and the nigga rolled the weed up in the Bible. I'm like, yo, this nigga rolled the whole bun. I'm like, yo, nah, son's wrong. I'm like, son's wrong. I'm smoking the Bible. I'm literally smoking the Bible, not even caring. Now I lay down, and you know how you wake up? I wake up, Spud. I'm still locked up. I'm thinking I'm home. I'm thinking I'm home, Spud. Yo, my man said, yo, Nate, what is you doing? I said, yo, bro, I'm not getting out of here. We're not going home. There's no way to go home, yo. But I stopped. My man just kept bringing weed to the spot. He just kept bringing weed, bro. I was even doing that and the Reese's Pieces wrappers. The Reese's Pieces, the brown one,
yeah.
I'll smoke.
And that's heavy paper. Though.
Yeah, but yo, we ain't had nothing else.
That was heavy paper.
I wasn't gonna smoke the toilet paper thing.
Yeah,
The
'cause
cover,
it got the ink.
ink on it.
It got
So
the ink.
he was like, "Yo, we gotta do it in the Bible or the Reese's Pieces one." Yo, Spot, I ain't lie. I smoking weed.
But the thing with the Reese's Pieces one is it's all ink.
But I was smoking weed so much in there, bro. Then you know how they give the urine test, but I felt it all the time. Every time, bro. My man, I said, yo, I told my man Crackers, what a Jamaican, my man too, Jamaican, his name Crackers. I'm like, yo, Crackers. He like, yo, Nate, we got that thing on. I'm like, nah, I'm good, bro. I'm good, son. I'm not smoking no more.
Yeah,
I end up like smoking. I start smoking a lot, Spud. And now I won't touch that shit at all, bro.
Up north, I mean, I don't smoke now, but up north I didn't smoke. I mean, I hit a
Even the hooch.
I hit a J.
The hooch?
I used to make hooch.
Oh, that shit had me linked,
I still
son.
make hooch. You want some? I got
Hell no,
give me a
son.
shot, bro. I still make hooch. Now hooch. That was I went to the box. My first box time was because
For the hooch.
Hooch, yeah. That was my first box time.
That shit had motherfuckers bugging in there,
Yeah.
bro.
I used to make it out of the protein bottle container. That's why I used that phrase burp earlier. Because you got to burp
Yeah,
the hooch.
Yeah, you gotta let
burp
it.
the hooch. You got to let that air out. You got to let that air out.
We had the Tang cup. They gave us Tang.
Yeah.
So I had the
That's
Tang.
what we serve about, yeah.
So I had the Tang.
So I would make it in the protein powder.
Yeah.
And then every time we would say, like, people finish their juice, their Tang, I keep the containers. And then I was bumping those $20.
Oh, you was killing them,
Bumping those
Spud.
$20. And I used to lie like I buried it. Because you're supposed to bury it. So I used to go to the yard with a dub, an empty one, water, and I used to bury it. People used to think I buried my hooch. So I used to go back, dig it up, and people would see, oh, it's ready. I used to use the fridge. The engine in the back of the fridge heats up enough. So every time they go to the yard, first run in the yard, I throw it back there behind the fridge. When the porter come, I tell him, like, yo, I'll clean the kitchen, I'm a cook. I'll clean the kitchen. Close the kitchen, pull the fridge out, go right behind the engine.
And you got your hooch.
I used to make my hooch in the house.
Yeah,
People
man.
used to think I buried it. I ain't buried it.
that's
That was my front. I would go with the yard like, yo, I'm gonna make it, bro.
Well, you put orange pills in there and everything.
Orange pills, potatoes is the best.
What?
Now, not only potatoes.
Wait, don't give out. Don't give out. No, you giving out.
I'm gonna say one last thing.
Don't give out too much information.
I'm gonna say one of the best things to make it with, and it tastes good. Grapefruit. It has the same power of the orange pills, but it gives it a stronger tangy, and it ferments faster than oranges.
See,
Than oranges.
This is juice. This is juice. This is
ferment
juice.
it. And I learned that in elementary school from fermenting fruits. That's what gave me the idea to do it up north.
That's juice, bud. You see, to make hooch, you had to be you had to know what you're doing. Yeah, everybody can't make hooch.
And it wasn't. I didn't make the slushy nasty. People be making a hooch and you got to drink through stuff and things is no. I used to use socks or do-rag, and I stuffed the stuff in do-rags,
and put it in
dipped them in there, seal it, and that's how I was doing it. And then I would pull them out, so that way once everything was fermenting and everything was getting the juice, I didn't have to worry about thawing it or weeding through all the gook because bread and tomato potatoes. The rice get all so you getting buzz, but it's disgusting. I used to use them in do-rags.
When I first seen that, I bugged out. Dude pulled the whole gallon out. He like, yo, try this. He like, yo, I ain't gonna tell you
I got some right now. Hold on. I'm gonna show. I ain't playing. I got some right now. I got some right now.
Yeah.
So chill, bro.
This is what you get.
I ain't lying. This is it right here, and this is my apple. This is my apple peach version. I got it right. Look, my face is on it. Voila. It's my face. I just tied in my logo like I told y'all that story and some hooch. Yeah, I be moving it. People be buying it.
That shit how you link, son.
See how you burnt this one. Okay, there you go. Smell that, bro.
Oh my God.
Smell that. Look, and it's thick too.
Oh my God.
That's thick, bro. Yeah, I still make it, bro.
That's moonshine.
I still make it.
That's the real moonshine.
And it tastes great, bro.
Yeah?
Tastes great.
Get you right?
That's the problem. It tastes great, bro. It tastes like a fruit juice.
Yeah, it sneak
you
up
smell,
on
you smell it.
It is.
And this is the apple. This is the apple peach. This is the apple peach. This is the apple peach. I still make it to this day.
You about to go in business.
I make it to this day. I got people who always ask me like, "Yo, make that for me." It's my last one. I still make it, bro.
Wow.
I still make it, bro.
This shit look like urine. Keep it This shit look like a dirty urine. They didn't tell you to pee in the jar, pee in the cup for the PO.
I still make hooch. I still make it to this day. My technique skills got phenomenal.
He said, look, that sound like professional alcoholic. Yo, Edge, look at this shit, Edge. This shit look like urine, bro.
That joint is
and
banging.
I'm telling you, this shit had you knock your socks off, bro.
Banging, bro.
Then he got apple. He even got flavors, bro.
Yeah, I got flavors.
He even got flavors.
So I got the citrus. That one be really high citrus. So it's really acidy. I wouldn't take a lot of shots of that one.
How many shots you could drink of this, my G? It's potent, like knockout potent.
It's potent.
But it's sweet.
You could get a shot in, but the problem is it tastes so good. You want to get a shot, and then they want to pour it in a glass, and then they want to drink it, and they be downing them. Yo, I want to send a super shout out to my man, So Prolific 7312. That's my man Ali Mo. That's my man. We was in the mountains. Not only were we in the mountains, we was the youngins, and then we transitioned to the mountains, and we made it on this side. Actually, Alamo, when I was mentioned, he said, "Shout it out, home team." Alamo is the first person that I went back to jail to see. My man Alamo. My man Alamo was in a little jam. He said, "Yes, sir." He was in a little jam, and I went to go see him, and that was my first experience. Seeing going to see someone after being released after all these years. Alamo was my man. I went to go see him, man. And remember when I said I waited like 6 hours?
That was to see Alamo?
That was Alamo. I told the story earlier. It's ironic you jumped on. But I went to go see him. It was like a 6-hour process, and then I got like 15 minutes with him, bro. 15 minutes with him, bro. You know what I'm saying? But I most definitely much love you, my brother. That's my dude. That's my dude. I don't mean to put your business out there. I don't mean to put your business out there. But I just gotta show how real it is. My man came to my wedding on a run. That's how real it is. That's how real it is. My man came to my wedding. He was on the run.
Look at that.
Yo, my man was on the. I know he died laughing. My man came to my wedding, suited and booted. Even came with his +1, and he was on a run. My man. It's my man. That's how you know my man. My man was like, what? I'm making it. I even think they snitched on him. Some people from New York saw the pictures and snitched on my man, and he got pinched. Adam, am I lying? So prolific. That's my man. So he was on the run. My man had the suit and all that. Matter of fact, he pulled up to the house with the blunt like, yo, you remember up north? You told me if you ever get married, you gotta smoke with me. Cause we used to break night. He was right in my cell. We used to break night. We used to talk about being free, man. He said, you ain't lying. We used to be talking about free. He used to talk about his farm. Now he got a farm. Chickens and animals and dogs and parrots and rabbits. He used to talk about that shit. I used to be like, my man is crazy. He came home and got his farm. He got a full live. He got animals. And he got animals that ain't supposed to be together and they living together in harmony and shit. Only Alamo could do that. But my man was on the, he came to my wedding, bro. Came to my wedding on the run, bro. That's my man, bro.
You see what you get?
That's my man.
You see what you get?
That's my man, son. Straight up.
We got a farm. We got hooch.
We got the hooch. He got the farm.
You understand?
Come on,
we got
son.
everything, man. He said
he did smoke with me for the first time. Yeah, he pulled up. I thought he forgot. He was like, nah, you remember back in, you said you was going to smoke one with me. I'm like, God damn. We smoked right outside the Airbnb. I never forget. That's my man. That's my man.
Look how memories be, yo.
That's my brother, yo. He said, you need some hooch for the phone? I love you, my dude. Word up. It's my brother.
Do you need some of this hooch on the phone? He got tons of it if he down with Spud, yo. He got tons of it.
My man got the farm. I went to Florida. He gave me eggs. He was giving me mad eggs. My man was like, yo, Spud, take these eggs. My man gave me eggs. I had green eggs.
Listen.
Brown eggs, I think. It was all kind of colors. Polka dots.
It's cool when you could do that. It's cool. That's how you know you loved, yo. It's cool, yo. Stuff like that. I love that, yo.
Yeah, that's my man, bro. We used to fantasize, bro. Basically, we used to fantasize about being free. We used to tell stories about what we would do and how it would be, bro. And we were kids, bro. We were kids, bro.
She said eggs, especially.
Like, word up, my man used to give me like I go to Florida, man. I'm like, yo, take these, bro. Give me some eggs, bro. We cooked them shits too. What? Cooked them shits. Them shits was pure wild chicken eggs. My man had he even had the system where the crow, the falcon, so it didn't grab his chickens, and he had it was down to a science, man.
What up, Berg?
Berg. That's my dude, man. My kids make fun of me. They was like, yo, most of your friends are from the street or prison. Like, it's rare that I'll be like, oh, who's that? Oh, I went to school with him.
Nah, that's real.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
it's
real
like
love.
most of the people that's around my kids, man, is and you won't even know, man. We crack a joke. He said, I still got 15 chickens. Look, he still got the Hawks took like 4 of them. He said, I still got 15. He's my man over here. Love you, Berg. Love you, Berg,
yo.
But when my kid was first,
oh, you living, Berg?
He in South Beach.
Berg, you living, bro. That's what's up,
man.
Berg.
Yo, send your kids and your grandkid, man. I much love, man. I know you down there with the fam. But my man Alamo, when my daughter was first born, man, and he came to my crib to basically see her and greet. to this day, me and my wife joke about it, man. He came with the big balloons and gifts, and she was like, "Yo, you would think like y'all a bunch of softies, man. It's like y'all was in the mountains for not little situations, for crazy situations, like." And she's like, "Look at y'all, man. Like y'all get around," and I'm like, "Yo, I met some really dope people, man. That's my family. Like these brothers is my family."
And you'll never forget. And those are the realest dudes in the world,
family,
bro.
Man. That's my family. You know what I'm saying? Like good, bad, and ugly. Your animal, not to not to talk bad, not to talk business, but I remember when he got pinched. And he called me. He jumped out of a. He not pinched when he went on the run. He jumped out of like a third floor window AC thing, and got out. And he called me, man. And it wasn't even a thought. I was like, yo, I'm a boogie to my man. And my whole thing was like, yo, bro, you gotta leave town. But I remember us having a conversation, and I was like, yo, bro, I know you wanna run, bro, but you might wanna start clean. And he was like, nah, bro, I'm a boogie. And I remember like we set up the whole train ride to get him out of town and all that, man. And my man got out of town and then got solidified, like was flourishing. And then he came to my wedding and somebody snitched on him. They saw his picture or something and they snitched on him. I think we know who did, but we gonna keep that's in the past. It's in the past. But they snitched on my man and then he got pinched, man. He's like, word. They got pinched and then but he got to reset, man. So I love seeing my brother, even when we hit our head or we stub our toes and little things happen, bro. Change is good.
Yeah, it's always good.
You took it out of my mouth. I don't even gotta say no more. I ain't even gotta say no more. My man said change is good. But
always, man.
That's my man.
That's
son.
dope, bro.
Alamo.
That's dope, bro.
Crazy man. It's my man, son. He like 3'0", right? But his heart is like 13 feet 14 inches. He a giant, bro. He put in that action.
Yeah, he cool.
My man don't leave him alone. He smiles and he's hugging, he's loving. But when he start doing that head twisting, bro, and he start talking to you like that, and the hand, he always got a bracelet on, and his hand moving, my man is Alamo. He laughing. It's my man. That's my man. My brother, man. My brother.
And look, two people came on here already from the spot.
Yeah.
And look, we put out the hooch. You got chicken eggs.
You gonna take a shot with me today?
No, hell no.
Take a shot with me before you leave.
No,
man. One shot, bro. One shot.
No, you're gonna try to kill me.
Nah.
This is what I get. This is what I get.
Hey, come peer pressure.
You know what I'm saying? The peer pressure.
Come on, bro.
I touched the hooch like 3 or 4 times.
Bro, it smells good.
It smells very good.
Give you a little bit. Half shot.
It smells very good, bro.
I give you a cap.
No, Spud, you're trying to get me lit.
It's a cap.
You're trying to get me...
Tablespoon.
I gave you a whole bottle.
A tablespoon.
Spud, you see when people give me bottles, what I do?
Teaspoon.
What I do?
I don't even know what that's after that.
He said one shot. No, he don't stop.
Yeah, I got the bottle right here.
Yeah. Every time somebody... Look at it. Just one shot.
Look. Peer pressure at its finest. Come on. Cheer it on. One shot. One shot.
Look at him. This is what I get. One shot.
You're a renegade.
Always, man. Stay above water, man.
Yeah.
Stay above water, yo.
Yeah, that's it, man.
Enjoy it, man. It's gonna be better times, bro.
For those, and I think we had a nice. I'm trying to get them to take the shot after this. But for those that just jumped on, just to recap what we was not recap, but just to leave y'all with something, man.
Look what he said.
You know, remember when I used to take the train to go and have a drink with you in the laundromat? Yo, my man. So my man, before I go into my closing. He lived in Harlem.
He took the A train?
And I was in Far Rockaway.
He took it all
My man would take the train from Harlem to Far Rockaway. I got to work the overnight. Come to my job and we have a drink. And we chop it up. And my man would dip back on the road. And if he had an event, 2, 3 in the morning, and I wasn't driving at the time. I would go. I remember we went to the club. Oh my gosh, bro. He took me to some spot. It was dope though. and they were giving me, it was Patron shots all night. And I remember coming out the spot, and everybody was like figuring out how they was leaving. And I was like, nah, I'm gonna take the train, man. I'm good. I'm gonna take the train. I'm good. He laughing. I take the train. I'm good. And everybody departed. They ain't here for me for like a day and a half.
What, you slept on the train?
Bro, I got pinched. I fell asleep. Woke up in a cell. Bro, I woke up in a cell. I got out. I called them like, yo, they just let me out. Told me I needed a break. Like, yo, I don't know what day it is. How long was I here? I called him, I'm like, he's like, yo, we was worrying. Because they was like, yo, we saw when you left. And we weren't sure if you were good. And I was like, yo, I felt good until I sat down at the train. That standing up.
Lit?
Bro, I was lit, bro. But standing, I was good. It's when I got to the train and I sat down and that rocking. That joint put me to sleep, bro. I don't know how, but I woke up. They were like, you want to use the bathroom before you go? I was in the precinct. I'm under arrest. They was like, nah, you just needed a break. It's like, shit, I just needed a break. Oh, I got out, I called them, and they was like, yo, we were calling you. We were trying to figure where you was at. Nah, bro. Yeah. He was like, I ain't seen him for like 3 weeks. He took a program. Yeah, I had to go into programs and all that. Yeah, bro. Good times. Good times, bro. But you know, but to give body to it, that was something I never experienced. Because when I was younger, I didn't get drunk. You know, we drank a few 40s here and there, but I didn't know what 12 shots could do. And you know, I didn't understand. I take 5 shots now, back to back. I'm good.
You lit?
I'm good, but I don't know how it's gonna hit me 2.5 hours later.
I can't.
You know what I'm saying? So you take 3 shots real quick. Bing, bing, bing. 20 minutes, half hour, I'm good. Yo, take a shot with me. Take a shot. You take a shot with me. Before you know it, and then 5 hours go, and I'm like, oh snap, it's kicking in. Let me head out. But then I gotta get on this train that's gonna take me 2 hours, and then I'm sitting for 2 hours. Bro, I was done. I was good. I was in there, bro. You might as well have shook up the champagne bottles. That's all I was. I was a champagne bottle now. Just fizzling with all kind of stuff in it. That's what I was. I was a full champagne bottle, bro.
Oh my God.
The police told me I needed a break. You ready to go now? He said you got to use the bathroom.
You good?
I'm like, yo, I'm arrested. He said, nah, you needed a break.
You was late.
I probably was wilding.
Yeah, you was.
I don't know, but shout out to everybody on TikTok. Shout out to everybody who jumped on Kick as well as Instagram. Man, you know, this is Living Room Conversation. This is my first week back. I was under the weather, had a head cold, and then had this sneeze and cough thing that would not stop. I'm still a little congested, but I made it through, feeling good, man, feeling positive. So it feels good to be back with my boy Nate right here, man, and also having the conversation. And that's where I was kind of going with, leading back to our original conversation about men not having a place. And when you find that camaraderie with somebody that you could be open with and share, and especially if you're going through something, man, find that individual that you could talk to, vibe with, and you know, burp. You gotta burp the pressure, man. You know what I'm saying? You gotta let some of that air out. You might want to cap it back so nothing spills. But when we going through something, man, we gotta find those moments to release some of that air, because the pressure doesn't go nowhere unless we let it go, man. So we've been rocking on. We've been on 2 hours and some shit.
Yeah, man.
But it feels good to be back. It feels good.
Mad good.
And I love the energy. We feed off y'all energy. You know what I'm saying? And then I feed off Crazy Man energy.
Nah, he crazy. Now you know he crazy.
I feel like
all his stories was crazy today. I told you he's crazy. He cool. He get the nice spot. Now you got the crazy spot today, so you see what you get.
Oh man,
he's hilarious. Yo, he's crazy. I'm telling you. When he start going, he going. He ain't stopping. Yo, he's crazy. My God.
Bro, life.
Look. You know he crazy. You know he crazy when he making this. I'm telling you.
I still make the hooch.
He crazy, man.
Much love, man. But I'm for Brooklyn.
I'm Nate, yo.
And this is Dungeon Talk. Thanks for rocking out with us, man. Again, man, find that place and that person that you can always talk to, man, when you're in a place of need, man. And if you have to be on the run, don't go to any weddings. Don't go to no weddings.
Oh my God!
But if you do go on the weddings, just remember there will be pictures.
Look at
they probably
listen,
find you.
Look at that fight.
They probably find you.
Oh
I'm just talking out of experience. This is pure experience. Yo, Alamo. Yeah, y'all have a good one, man. See y'all next week.
See y'all next week. Hey, his closing remark. Don't go to a wedding on the run. My God.